just your thoughts overall for tonight, and nice crowd tonight too.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Great crowd, great fights. I mean, the main event lived up to it. Both guys are from Florida, so I got to give credit to our PR team and that actually asked for that main event. So I'm not taking credit for that. But yeah, no, I think all the fights showed up, especially the semifinals finalists. Josh and Emperor, put the icing on the cake for the night. I was impressed with what Josh did because there were times where Emperor actually hurt him and he just kept coming back. And so it's good to see, especially because he had lost to Emperor last year. So to see that, I was impressed.
So you've got Ghazi facing off against Brent.
Right.
In the championship, you got two amazing grapplers.
Right.
Three decent strikers with, Brent, 3-degree jiu-jitsu black belt. And a guy right out of the best training camp, Ghazi.
Yeah.
How do you see this fight going down?
It's a 5-round fight, and I think they both have power, as we saw Guts tonight. Brent, I've seen him when he went up against Solomon Renfro. Both, as you said, both great grapplers. So, but the thing is, I just don't see that fight going the distance. Someone is, that's a 5-round fight, and they both come out and fight, and so. I still think that's going to be, I just don't see that fight going the distance.
Might be a banging fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Danny was our draw. Danny came in here, cleared the straw. He used the tired word a couple times with that quarter. Curious of your thoughts on that fight, how it scored, and if this is the end of Danny in the PFL.
I thought Danny looked great. I thought. No, that was the first time I've seen him live, and I was impressed with that kind of cocky attitude, still being polite in his own way. But I kind of like that attitude where you just come out and fight. You know what I mean? So it won't be the last time we see him.
When you have so many fighters coming out of Florida, does that make you just want to come back here more when you hear that crowd?
Absolutely. No, we had a great crowd tonight, so yeah, absolutely.
And Thad Gene, he asked about, he brought a lot of people here as well. Silverback Nation showed out. Is he a guy you're looking forward to maybe having in the regular season next year?
What's Thad Gene's record now? 8-0? Yeah, so I mean that's the thing. That's very possible. If we can get him another maybe 1 or 2 more fights, it's very possible that he could end up in the season next year.
And you have the Supercard later this year. Any more fights that maybe announced for that card?
No, we don't. You see, I get in trouble. You guys are just trying to get me in trouble. No, I mean nothing's been announced yet. Obviously, that's going to be finalized, and I think in the coming weeks that will be announced. Thank you.
One fight that was announced is AJ and Paul Hughes. I was wondering your thoughts on that. I'm very excited. No?
I don't believe that was. Yeah.
Not announced?
No.
Oh, I apologize. Another fight that's not announced I want to ask about that the fans are behind, the community needs it. Matt Burnell, a great quotes again tonight, called out Shane Burgos. A WWE-esque call out. Very good. What do you think about that potential fight?
Yeah, that's. I mean, Mads, and I'm glad he called Shane out because when you create that kind of hype, I think they should get in there and go to work. When that would happen, I have no idea. Obviously, they both. I mean, apparently they've actually talked to each other and they've both agreed to it. And so Matt's winning tonight and calling him out again. So I somewhere down the line, I think that's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but I think it should happen.
I know Shane was rooting for him all day there.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you about Jordan Oliver, a guy that has a huge platform. A lot of fans in the wrestling community, one of the most accomplished NCAA wrestlers of all time. Do you have high hopes of Jordan Oliver?
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential, but I still think he needs a lot of experience. He also fights at a weight class that's very stacked, and so, um, but time is also not his friend because I believe he's like 33, 34, and so when you start, I mean, he's really got to kind of fast track and get some high level quality opponents because he doesn't have much time. When you're 33 and you're only what 2-0 now, and so yeah, it's kind of tough. But saw a lot of potential in him tonight, and so that's entirely up to him how fast he wants to climb that ladder. Right.
I wanted to ask you about Diageo Ali Walsh. A lot of fans some fans seem to complain like why Diageo on the main card always. He hasn't had a lot of experience. A lot of people are trying to rush him, trying to say he should fight bigger names at this point. But he's doing everything right. It seems he seems to improve with each fight. What have you seen from him?
Well, I mean, I don't know how someone could not understand why he's on the main card. You just got to think Ali, and that says it all. That being said, Diageo did have another opponent. Unfortunately, his opponent got hurt, and that opponent was, I think he had a little bit more, 4-0 in terms of his record. So we were going to step that kind of competition up. Unfortunately, he got hurt. Last minute, so thanks to Brian for stepping up, and unfortunately, it didn't go his way. But again, this is the potential that Diageo has. Is we got to bring him up slowly. Again, he's only 2-0 now as a pro, so but he's coming along. I thought tonight he was patient, picked his shots, and finished the fight. So I mean, when you're that young in the game, that's exactly what you want to do. That's why people want to tune in. That's why people want to see you, is finishing fights. So.
And last one, on that note, Corey Taylor, the guy who's originally supposed to fight, he seemed like a perfect opponent for Diageo where he's at right now, his experience.
Right.
So maybe some interest in relooking that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do we have a location for that pay-per-view card?
Yeah, it's on the moon.
Debut.
The boss lady is right here. No, it's not finalized yet.
Can you talk about the importance of Ngannou versus Tejeda? When Ngannou signed with you guys, he left the UFC as champion.
Right.
Some people still see him as the best heavyweight in the world.
Right.
Do you feel like this fight defines who the best heavyweight on the planet is in mixed martial arts?
I agree. Renan Ferreira has completely in his this past year winning the championship, and then going up against his name will come to me in a second. Bader. Again, going up against Bader, and was able to finish Bader the way he did. That's stamping your mark, on the world circuit. And I mean, the next big thing for him is to fight Francis, and I can't wait for that fight. That's going to be fireworks. And it definitely is the battle of giants because those two guys are monsters.
There's a belt on the line, right?
There is, yes.
Yeah. Will that belt be defended going forward?
Yes, that's yes.
In terms of that, obviously, in the time since Francis left UFC, they've had all sorts of confusion around who's the champion. A lot of people feel maybe Damascus, maybe John Jones, or has been the undisputed belt. Do you feel that, kind of regardless kind of to what Danny was saying, the real MMA undisputed heavyweight champion is going to be decided on October 19th when Renan Ferreira and Francis Ngannou fight each other?
Listen, Francis left as champion, and of course now the UFC has a new champion, as in John Jones. Tom is such an amazing athlete himself. I think when that opportunity is presented to him against Jones or whoever the world champion is, when he does fight for that title, I would not be surprised if he comes out on top. Sorry. I'm going to turn that off very soon. But anyway, that being said, listen, I think the two biggest heavyweights in the sport today is Francis and Renan Ferreira. In terms of size, they're both proven themselves. They're both great finishes, and so yeah, no, there's no doubt in my mind that those two are definitely the two of the best in the world.
South Florida, especially, we talk about this. So many fighters, so many training centers down here. You look at the card. There were so many that have some South Florida ties on this card too, and all. Curious because Bellator, PFL, you got a huge roster, so much talent.
Right.
How do you feel about the strength, not only South Florida, but just the roster? When you could do a PFL, bring a Bellator over, or even some that aren't under contract per se, but are here, and you can have them on your cards.
Well, I mean, that's a great idea. But, I mean, we're so busy as is now. For example, we have PFL MENA already started. We have PFL Europe started. We're looking at PFL Africa, Australia, New Zealand next year. So, like, there's the whole team's all over the world at the moment. So, it's a great idea. But, and then there's no doubt that we'll be coming back to Florida, not only to your point, so many fighters out here, but at the same time, the crowd turned up and supported their own.
And then one question about next week's card. Ryan Richard was set to fight James Gallagher. Gallagher pulled out of it last week. Richard said he's going to have a replacement. Is that confirmed that he will have a replacement?
Yes, we're still working on it to get that finalized. But yeah, I think we're in the last days finalizing that. I already said the moon, so I don't know what that.
Mars.
Yeah, you know, that's very possible.
So we're talking about defending the for Ngannou. Do you see the winner of Goldstein and Palmer fight, respectively? That kind of
Yeah, absolutely. That's very possible. Yep.
Let's talk about Jake Paul entry into the smart cage. Obviously, you guys are. He's going to be there this week coming up in DC.
Yep.
And then you guys are going to see him step in there at some point. What type of buzz do you think? Do you foresee this fight making when he eventually does step in there because he's made such big steps in boxing?
Yeah, a lot of respect to Jake Paul. For a guy that fighting wasn't a thing in his career, and obviously he was still training, and then to do what he's been doing, I don't think fighters are taking him lightly anymore. They're realizing that he's the real deal, and especially when he's knocking guys out that have fought for many years. Okay, I understand it's boxing, and he's fighting a lot of these MMA fighters, but still, for a guy that doesn't have that kind of fighting background, if you will, nothing but respect for him because he's doing well.
Yeah, I know you're a little bit. I know the buzz is right there, but is there anything that you can kind of give us in terms of who you might be looking for in terms of matchups for him? I mean, where does he fit into that?
Well, apparently, from what I understand, he and Mike Perry had both talked and both agreed that they would, when the time comes and that MMA fight would happen, it would be in the smart cage, which is at the PFL. So I believe they both agreed to it. They both talked to each other about it. And, it's no secret. I don't know if you've seen it, but I have. So that'd probably be the fight.
Is there a date for you guys talking to Jake Paul? Is this when he could possibly debut?
Nothing scheduled at the moment. But Paul, you never know. Jake Paul might be able to, tell you guys next week. What was that? Again, that's something, like I said, anything is possible with Jake Paul, and I'm surprised that he wanted to do that MMA fight, which is amazing. But again, I'm pretty sure that if he wants people to know, he's going to probably say something about it next week.
Anyone else?
You've obviously talked about PFL, Euro, PFL, Africa, PFL, Australia, and everything like that. How do you see the future of the brand growing in the next couple of years? With the Jake Paul and the French come down with
I think I didn't see it to be where it is today 2 years ago. You know what I mean? And I think we're growing in leaps and bounds, and give it another 2 years, we'll continue to grow. You know what I mean? There's other, for example, PFL China is possible. PFL Japan is possible. So there's a lot of different countries that we will be going into as well. But yeah, I mean, that's the goal, is to continue to grow and continue to sign the best fighters that are available.
We were here in January for the Bellator versus PFL press conference. Now we're here 8 months later, great event tonight. How has the PFL evolved in just the past 8 months?
Man, this 8 months, it's gone by so fast. And one of the reasons is because like I said, our staff is all over the world at the moment, with everything that's going on. In terms of growth, like I said, we're just continuing to grow and continuing to sign big names and big talent that becomes available. And we're finding talents all over the world at the moment. To answer your question, I think everybody's happy with the growth at the moment, and we're going to continue, on that path.
Anyone else? Awesome. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, everybody.